the Soviet Union, Ukraine, Chernobyl.
Friday the 25th of April, 1986. A beautiful spring day for the 43,000 inhabitants of Pripyat in the Ukraine. A day that will remain forever engraved in their memory. 3 kilometers from the city, the Vladimir Ilyich Lenin nuclear power plant, where several thousand people go to work each day. Tonight, the 176 employees of Block 4 have been ordered to carry out a test on a self-fueling system of the reactor.
"12:05 a.m. Preparations for the test begin. Leonid gradually reduces power. For the next 20 minutes, everything goes as planned. But just another 3 minutes later, there's a snag. For some reason, power levels in the reactor plummet. This is not part of the drill. Leonid needs to get the power level back up again fast. To his relief, he fixes the problem. By 1 o'clock in the morning, Leonid thinks the reactor is stable. The preparations proceed. 3 minutes later, Boris, who controls the pumps, takes his turn. He switches on 2 auxiliary water pumps. But they force water into the reactor too quickly. That's bad. It means that not enough water can be turned into steam to drive the turbines. They're out of balance. "1:19. Leonid thinks he can help by increasing power in the reactor's core. It works. The reactor gets hotter, creating more steam to drive the turbines. Leonid and Boris think they have the situation under control. They continue with the test preparations. What they don't know is that the core is heating up to dangerous levels. In the turbine hall, Yuri gets a phone call. Someone in the control room tells him the preparations are complete and the test is about to start. To the crew on the night shift, everything at Chernobyl appears normal. "1:23. An operator shuts down the turbines as planned. This is the start of the test they've been preparing for since the beginning of the shift. But just as Leonid monitors the reactor, he sees its temperature begin to soar. Pressure in the reactor heads towards critical. Warning alarms blare through the control room. Now, Leonid and Boris see they've got a problem. But they don't know they have only seconds to prevent a full-blown nuclear disaster. The unimaginable begins. The extreme heat starts to destroy the core. Boris and Leonid realize they're no longer in control. Just 1 minute later, Chernobyl's number 4 reactor explodes. The force of the explosion blows the reactor's 2,000-ton steel roof sideways. 8 tons of highly radioactive fuel blast into the night sky. Outside Chernobyl, fisherman Pyotr Tolstakov becomes an eyewitness to history.
Explosion is an imprecise word. It was like a volcanic eruption.
There were bits of wires lying about. All the technical units were in pieces. We didn't know it was the reactor, because no one had told us.
None of the firemen realize they're in the midst of a nuclear catastrophe. For an hour and a half, they struggle with the flames. And one by one, the men start to collapse, vomiting and losing consciousness. Piotr Hamel is among them.
We didn't think it was a dangerous event, not on a global scale. We thought it was just a normal fire.
By early morning, the clouds are already being contaminated by the radioactive column, rising 1,000 meters into the sky. For Pripyat's 43,000 inhabitants, life goes on as usual. They know nothing of the disaster 3 kilometers away. To avoid any panic, the authorities conceal the seriousness of the situation. Inhabitants are given 2 hours to gather their belongings and assemble in front of their buildings. People have to leave everything they own, their entire lives behind. They will never return.
Bring him in here. I want you to take readings in the building. Inside, around, everywhere. Then you get back here and report to us only.
The reactor is destroyed. It is destroyed. And the readings are not 3.6 rentgens, sir. They are 15,000. 15,000.
No! This is impossible! Don't listen to this, sir. It's the equipment is wrong. Julia, you must be wrong. I've told Moscow to throw it in the bin.
There's nothing wrong with the equipment, and I feel extremely ill.
Throw it in the bin, you cretin! Get out! Get out, imbecile!
Sir, I wanted to ask about evacuating Pripyat. Yes, the employees' town next to...
What are you talking about? What's the matter with you? You do no such thing. Do not speak of that again. Wait. You gave the readings to be 3.6. Are we now to assume you do not have the situation under control?
Oh, no, we do. I do. Radiation is within normal limits.
I can't do this anymore. Oh, my tongue is so swollen. My head. It's been hours. No. I think something really bad has happened, Alex. It can't just be you. You must be escaping. You must be everywhere. You must be everywhere. Where is she, my wife? I want to see my wife!
The morning of the 26th of April was as warm and beautiful as anyone could remember. Yet, before dawn, the fresh, clear air
had already been transformed. Now nothing was harmless. Dust, hair, clothes, the water supply, crops, livestock, the food they make, the milk they make, poison. One warning was given. Not one precautionary action taken. Why did they not act? A rumor was spreading, which some believed, but most did not. Safe in the knowledge that they would be told of any threat, 35,000 people spent a sunny Saturday afternoon surrounded by levels of radiation 400 times the accepted norm. And still no warning was given, no action taken, still no iodine given to the 17,000 children whose thyroid glands are now absorbing radiation like a sponge absorbs water. This is no longer the denial of the guilty. Their delusion is falling away with their blistered skin.